is the Martin 00015M StreetMaster actually good for? Who should walk away? And does it justify its price tag for the everyday player who just wants a reliable acoustic? If you've been scrolling through endless options and wondering whether a mahogany-based 000 will finally give you that warm, focused tone without sacrificing playability, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation most buyers feel comes from two places: the fear of overpaying for a designer finish that looks cool but doesn't translate to better sound, and the worry that a 000 size might feel cramped if you're used to a dreadnought or a smaller parlor. Let's start by picturing a typical day in the life of someone who's just upgraded from a beginner's laminate guitar. You wake up, grab a coffee, and sit on the porch with a notebook. You want a guitar that opens up quickly, doesn't need a massive warm-up, and gives you a clear voice when you strum a few chords. The Martin StreetMaster, with its all-solid mahogany top, back and sides, aims to hit that sweet spot. Mahogany is known for delivering a rounded, mellow low end and a soft, woody mid-range that many players describe as vintage-friendly. The distressed satin finish adds a bit of streetwear charm, but more importantly it's a thin coat that lets the wood breathe, so the guitar responds consistently whether you're playing in a bedroom or a small coffee shop. Who should buy it? If you sit somewhere between a folk singer-songwriter and a player who does a bit of fingerstyle, the 000 body size is a practical compromise. It's large enough to give you decent volume and sustain, yet small enough to stay comfortable on a lap or a chair. That makes it a solid choice for gigging folk artists who need to carry their instrument around town without a bulk-heavy dreadnought. It's also a great fit for teachers who want an instrument that can demonstrate both warm chordal support and articulate picking tones. Because the guitar uses non-scalloped spruce bracing, you'll notice a clear, articulate attack when you dig into a finger-picking pattern. The spruce in the bracing helps keep the top from getting overly soft, preserving definition even at higher volumes. Who should skip it? If you're primarily a flat-picking bluegrass player chasing the punchy, bright snap of a spruce top on a larger body, this might feel a little subdued. Mahogany's natural warmth can sometimes mask the high-frequency sparkle that a traditional bluegrass sound relies on. Likewise, if you're on a strict budget and are looking for a starter guitar under $500, the StreetMaster's price sits in the mid-range, so you may end up stretching your wallet for a finish that's more aesthetic than functional. Lastly, if you have unusually small hands, the 25.4-inch scale length, while offering a little extra string tension for clarity, could feel a touch stiff compared to a shorter scale 12-string or a parlor-size instrument. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that actually matter once you have the guitar in hand. First, the tonal consistency across the fretboard is noticeable. Because the top, back, and sides are all solid mahogany, the resonance is cohesive. You don't get the top-only brightness you might hear on a laminated instrument. In a real-world scenario, when you're playing a simple GCD progression while recording a home demo, the chord tones blend smoothly without any harsh overtones. That cohesion also helps when you layer vocal tracks. The guitar sits nicely in the mix, providing warmth without competing with the vocals. Second, the long scale length of 25.4 inches contributes to a tighter low end. If you're a singer who likes to drop into a low or even a low B tuning for a darker vibe, the extra tension prevents the strings from feeling floppy. In my own test, I tuned down a half step and the strings still felt responsive, and the notes didn't get muddy when I hit them hard. That's a practical advantage for live gigs where you might need a little extra headroom for dynamic playing. Third, the non-scalloped bracing does a subtle but real job of balancing the guitar's projection. When you stand on a small stage and play with a modest amp, the instrument manages to cut through without needing a pickup. I tried it in a coffee shop setting, and even with ambient chatter, the guitar's voice was clear enough that the audience could follow the melody without a microphone. On the flip side, there are a few weaknesses you should be aware of before you pull the trigger. The distressed satin finish, while visually appealing, is relatively thin. That means the guitar is more susceptible to surface scratches if you're the type who tosses your instrument into a gig bag without a soft inner lining. It's not a deal breaker, but you'll need to be a bit more careful if you travel frequently. Also, the mahogany top, while warm, doesn't open up as dramatically as a spruce top after months of playing. If you're hoping for a dramatic tonal evolution where the sound gets brighter and more resonant,